mechanics of what you do. Which if you think about it, we can learn the mechanics of our business in most places. There's books, sales trainings, the internet. But what your success truly depends upon is in the 80%, which is your psychology. And for the past 30 years, Tony Robbins has been personally coaching and training some of the most successful people in the world. I'm talking about people like Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, Donald Trump, Anthony Hopkins, Steve Wynn. 3 out of the last 5 United States presidents have been personally coached and trained by Tony Robbins. Now, before we go any further, would you all agree with me? Those are some successful people, yeah? Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. I know you don't know them personally, but would you guys guess that as people, their attitudes, they're pretty motivated people, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And I know you don't know their calendars or their assistants, but would you also say that they are busy as hell? Mm-hmm. Okay. So then the question I have is this. Why would successful, busy, but most importantly, people who are already motivated, why would they spend time, money, and energy to get coached and trained literally by anybody? Why would they do that?
Get better at the game.
Yeah, absolutely, Ari. Because they know that no matter how successful you are in business or in life, there's always that next level. And I truly believe that the reason why you all showed up here today is because you know somewhere within inside yourselves, you have that next level also. True or false?
True.
All right. But what these smart people also realized was this. There was something holding them back. Mentally, emotionally, I mean, maybe they had some bad habits. Maybe there was just something they knew they should have been doing at the time and they weren't doing it. Whatever it was, though, they wanted to identify what's the problem going on, what's the inner conflict they have there, but most importantly, they wanted to eliminate it. And that's actually the work we're all going to get into today, if you guys are up for it. Yes,
sir. Bring it on.
Awesome. At the end of the workshop, I'll talk to you guys about an opportunity to attend a very rare and special live event with Tony Robbins. It's called Unleash the Power Within, UPW for short. And I'll tell you right now, look, if you decide to attend that event today, it will change your life. But I want you to hear me on this. I give you my personal word, no matter what happens today, if you all come together and really play full out in this workshop, you're going to walk out of here with some results. Some real tangible results you're going to be able to apply to your business and other very important areas of your life to start seeing improvements. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Yes. Understand this? When I say play full out in the workshop, it does not look like this. All right? Playing full out in the workshop is raising your hands, answering questions, writing down notes, but most importantly, shouting back answers. And the reason why you do that is scientific research has actually proven that when you actively engage and participate, what you're really doing is ingraining those words you hear in your nervous system. So what happens is your retention rate can actually go all the way up to a 90%. Wow. It's pretty cool, huh?
Nice.
Right? That's why the key word today is going to be participation. Mm-hmm. So tell me, what's the key word?
Participation.
Are you all ready to make the end of this year the best end of year you've ever had, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And I'm not just talking about getting excited, pumped up, or motivated. I'm talking about going out there at the end of this year and especially the beginning of next year and making it the best year you've ever had and the most important areas of your life. That sounds good to you all? Then say yes.
Yes, sir.
And I want you all to sit in your chair with lots of energy. Take a deep breath in. Turn to your neighbor, look them straight in the eye, and say, I'm committed. Are you?
I'm committed. I'm committed. Are you?
Are you?
Yes.
By the way, UPW is awesome.
It is? Oh, you been?
I did it last year in Orlando.
No way. That's awesome. We're going to be in Fort Lauderdale this year. You're going to go.
I might volunteer.
Cool. Oh, you're going to crew. Very nice. Awesome. We'll talk about that at the end. So here's where we're going to go and start, guys. We're going to start with the first question that Tony loves to ask his private clients. And that question is this. What determines your success? So go and fire some answers. What would you say determines your success?
Desire.
Desire. Yeah, absolutely. You got to have a lot of desire for what you do. Passion. Yeah,
Focus.
you got to live with passion. Focus. Commitment. Commitment, 1,000%. What else?
Discipline.
Discipline. All right, perfect. I want you all to think about somebody who's in your life or your business that's got at least one of those qualities or characteristics. Now, how can you describe somebody as that way? Do they act like that one day out of the year?
Nope.
How often?
Every day.
Every single day. What happens if it's raining outside or there's a hurricane? Does that determine how focused they are in their business?
Nope.
What happens if their market's crashing? Does that determine how much drive, desire, and passion they have?
Nope.
No, because understand, these are not things that people feel like they should do or have to do. It's who they really are. And what we call those at Tony Robbins are your patterns of behavior. So that's where we're going to start today. You all have that worksheet? Yes?
Yes,
Everyone
sir.
have the 2 worksheets?
No.
No, they're in the middle of the table. Do you want mind passing those down? Thanks so much, brother. Appreciate that. As you see, it looks exactly like my boxes up here. There's a B and a P in your top left box. Where that P is, go ahead and write in patterns. So what does that P stand for?
Patterns.
Yeah.
Hold on.
All right. You there? Got people got it? Passing it around? Good stuff. All right. Now, let's talk about patterns for a second. What is another word for a pattern of behavior?
Repetition.
Yeah, what would you call another word for like a repetition of behavior? It happens consistently every day.
Habit.
Yes. I'm curious, how many of you in the room have some bad habits by a show of hands? It's everyone's favorite question. Some of you need 2 hands for that one, right? Maybe a couple of feet, right? How many of you here have some good habits though? Yeah? Everyone kind of does. Some people are a little slow to raise their hands there. So I'm curious, how many of you here brushed your teeth this morning by show of hands?
Sure, it's a
If
mitzvah.
anyone's not raising their hands right now, get the hell out of that area. Look, we've all got some bad habits and some good habits, and we need to really reinforce our good habits, but also we've got to figure out where they've gotten us so far. So that's what we're going to do right now. So what I want everyone to do right now is I want you to scale yourself in your businesses on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of your results. In other words, think about it like this. A 1 on this scale, it means you're not really getting the results you know you're really capable of getting. You're not tapping into your full potential, in other words. So you know you could be making more money, you should be having a lot more appointments, more clients, just overall you should be getting better results in your marketing, money, everything that has to do with that business, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. And if you're not getting that, usually because there is something holding you back, and maybe you know what that something is, maybe you don't know what it is, whatever it is though, that's a level 1. Level 10 means that you are getting the best results. You could not be getting any better results. You couldn't be making any more money. You could not be getting any more return on investments. You could not be going out there and really marketing anymore. You are literally maxing out at your full potential, and because of that, you're so focused, so driven, so committed to what you're doing, you are unstoppable, right? Now, realistically speaking, the people who have that kind of a mindset, do they have the top results in the business, yes or no?
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. The people who are absolutely fully committed, focused, driven, really willing to do whatever it takes, right? Those are the people that get the top results in the businesses. So, whatever your number is right now, come up with it and write it down in the top left corner of your paper. Make sure to grab a piece of paper, two pieces of paper. All right. How many of you here by a show of hands are a 1 or a 2? Nope. Okay. Thanks for. I appreciate your honesty. Thank you. 3 or a 4? 5 or a 6? Okay, most people. 7 or an 8? And a 9 or a 10? Anybody? No? Okay, cool. So it looks like on average, if we were to pick a number for everybody, it's going to be right around a 5 or a 6. We'll call it 6. Now, I know we all have different numbers here. It's quite obvious. However, is it fair to say that no matter what number you're at, there's at least a little bit of a difference between where you are right now, where you really know that you should be?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? In other words, if you know you should be doing a lot better in your business, and if you know you can be doing a lot better, there's a lot more in you to do and make more money, go out there and improve your business, and even in other areas of your life too, if you know you can be doing a lot better in those areas, and you're not right now, the question we need to really answer is why? What are the top 2 to 3 things that are just holding you back from really allowing yourself to being able to break through them and taking your life and your business to the next level? Whatever those 2 to 3 things are, come up with them right now, write them down underneath what's holding you back. Set it up against your coffee. That way you don't have to hold it.
Good idea. You just eat as a cup.
Except now I can't drink it.
Yeah. Hey, sacrifices.
Put it against your bag.
Ah, there you go.
Boom.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
All right, what are some of the things that we have holding us back?
Fear.
Fear. Oh, I came right out and said it. I love it. Not fearful people in here. Okay. What fear specifically?
Usually failure.
Rejection. Okay, here's the thing about fear. I'm glad we got this out first. Fear is the number 1 reason and the number 1 emotion that really stops people from being able to go to the next level of their business and every area of life. There's really only 3 fears. The first fear is the most common fear in business and in sales, which would be fear of what? Rejection or failure. They're the exact same fear there.
Hey.
Second fear is fear of success. Third fear is fear of change or fear of the unknown. So it's a great answer. I'm glad we got that out first. What else do we have?
Indecision.
Indecision. Okay. Awesome. Glad you could
Morning.
join us.
Thanks.
You don't sound too happy to be here.
What's up with Alton Road? Find time to dig
Bunch of
that out.
traffic?
No, I avoid it. I come in the back though,
There
but
is no
still.
Walton Road.
Interesting.
Now is it going northbound or
Huh.
southbound?
It's working with
I
that.
don't know.
They
All
said.
right, what else do we have that's holding us back?
Time.
Time? Awesome. Is it a lack of time or is it a lack of time management?
It's focus.
It's different from my circumstance.
Okay. What is yours?
It would be, I need more time. Not yet type of time. Does that make sense?
Okay, so that makes
Or-
sense. In other words, like it's just it's waiting to happen.
Yes.
Okay. So
And patience.
so therefore,
That
yeah,
could be
I was gonna
good.
say
Patience.
Patience, right there. Took the words right out of my mouth. Okay. Patience. Perfect. All right. What else?
Organization.
Organization. Okay.
Lack thereof.
Mm-hmm. Number 2.
All right. What else?
Resources.
Resources. Which one specifically?
Money.
Or then you could say leverage. That's,
Ah, you've got a different mindset than a lot of other people, though.
yeah.
I agree with you on that. But, okay. So lack of leverage. And what leverage are you talking about specifically?
Not necessarily financial. It goes with the resource.
Relationships.
Relationships.
Yeah. Okay.
Trust.
Trust. Okay. Awesome. Lack of trust. And that affects the relationships, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Perfect. Good answer. What else? Milton, what'd you have?
Organization.
Yeah.
Is that it? Is the only thing?
Organization and also time.
Time management? Right along there?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. How many of you feel like you can manage your time better by a show of hands? Yeah, it's a very common one. Awesome. Okay. What else? Let's get another one or two up here.
Lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge. Very common.
Procrastination.
We got that. Lack of knowledge and procrastination. Okay. How many of you procrastinate by show of hands? Yeah? The rest of you are going to raise your hands later?
Yes,
Yeah?
absolutely.
I don't.
All
Now,
right. Procrastination. What'd you say?
would you say the canny takes care of all that?
The what?
Canny.
What do you mean?
It's a Tony Robbins line.
Canny? Oh, can I?
Can I?
Can I?
Yeah.
Can I is a more of like a, yeah, can, I guess in a sense, get rid of a lot of this, but can I is more of like a, it's like a style of living.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. It's like consistent growth.
Exactly.
So yeah, if you're in that state, eventually all these will get taken care of. But wouldn't you like to figure out a way to get rid of most of these in like 3 or 4 days? Right? Quick amount of time. Talk about that later. But here's the thing. I'm going to stop it right here. I'm going to talk about these answers for the rest of the workshop. As I do, please understand, I'm not saying everybody here has all 13 of these problems. Because quite honestly, if you had all 13 of these problems, I don't even think Tony Robbins can help you. But realistically speaking, guys, is it fair to say most people have 2 to 3?
Mhm.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
How many of you would agree with me that a lot of these reasons right here that hold you back in the business tend to hold you back in other very important areas of your life too? Yeah?
Absolutely, sure.
Isn't it true that one area of your life can literally affect every other area of your life? For example, look at your wheel of life, top left corner. I mean, isn't it true? Let's say your career. Does your career affect your emotional state on a day-to-day basis?
Absolutely.
Does your emotional state in turn affect your ability to contribute to those around you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Does that contribution, does that affect your relationships?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do your relationships affect your finances?
Yes.
You can go any which way you want. One area of your life will affect every other area of your life. And all these reasons that do that, don't get me wrong, the fact that we've acknowledged them, that's great. But what's another name for those answers?
Excuses.
All right, I like your mindset, man. We have a scientific name for these at Tony Robbins. It's 2 letters, so I need everyone to go and write this down right above them.
BS.
These are called your BS.
Yep.
Not that BS, guys. Not that BS. Come on, it's a professional meeting, right?
Behavioral.
Look, BS stands for belief systems. Belief systems. Did you get a worksheet, by the way, brother?
No.
You want to go and pass him one, please? Thank you. Awesome. So,
What else is
Thanks.
here's the thing. Tony Robbins has been helping people get such amazing results in so many, and at the end too, so many different areas of life for the past 35 years at this event, UPW, which, just on a personal note, how many of you here know someone who's ever had cancer before by a show of hands? Now here's the thing. Back when I was 13 years old, my mom had breast cancer. Don't get me wrong. I know some of you right now are looking at me like 13. What was that, last year? Right? It was actually 2 years ago. Alright, here's the thing. My mom had breast cancer, and if you know someone who's ever survived cancer, when they come back, they're an entirely different person. Entirely different. My mom lost her drive, focus, certainty as a woman, everything. She was a single mother my whole life. So here's the thing. Going to Tony Robbins literally turned her around. It's like I got my mom back and more within a year. It was amazing. Also, how many of you know someone who's ever had a stuttering problem by show of hands?
Mm-hmm.
I highly suggest you go find this video on YouTube. Look, I've seen it 3 times live in person, and Tony can do this. It amazes me every time. He can take somebody who's been stuttering for their entire life and get them to speak clearly for the rest of their life in under 30 minutes flat. It's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Yes, sir.
By the way, how's Brandon doing? Speaking of cancer.
Brandon?
Bays.
What?
Okay, never mind. Brandon Bays, one of Tony's.
Oh, Brendan Bays. Yeah, he's doing great. Yeah, he's fine. So that's the thing. Tony has never lost a suicide in the history of his career. He's saved more divorces and marriages you can even fathom. And he does all of this at the event UPW, which he's been doing ever since he developed something that's now known as neuroassociative conditioning. And I know that sounds like a big scientific word, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what that means. I'm going to do that through a story. And you're going to worksheet too. Cool. All right, so here's a story, and this is a story about Tony. I love this story. Tony in this story is about 11 or 12 years old. Now, really quickly, how many of you at 11 or 12 years old had somebody that you looked up to by show of hands? Yeah? Most people do. So, in this story, Tony, understand, he really looked up to his dad. All he wanted to do in life was be just like dad, because he went through like 4 fathers, so he just was looking for a father figure in his life. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay, so he watched his dad drink beer every single Friday, a full 6-pack. 5 o'clock comes around, his dad would drink that beer. So naturally, what did Tony want to do?
Drink beer.
Want to drink beer. So he would ask his mom over and over and over and over. You know how kids can get, right? So finally, she gave in. She's like, all right, fine. You can drink beer. However, you've got to make one promise, one deal with me. Is if you're going to drink beer, you've got to drink that whole 6-pack in one sitting. Now, what do you think Tony said?
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, he said, absolutely. You're kidding me? He was excited about that. He was like, yes, 1,000%. So Friday comes around. 5 o'clock's there. He's excited. He's anxious. He can't wait to do it. He cracks open the first one, takes a sip. What does he think to himself?
Gross.
Yeah, he told me, he said, that is the worst tasting shit I'd ever had in my life. Right? He knew right then it wasn't going to be a pleasant experience, and he probably should not have continued to drink. However, did he continue doing something he knew he really didn't want to do?
Yes.
Yes. Because understand this, people will do things they know are hurting their life and their business, in spite of something that we're actually going to talk about in a little bit. Okay? So, in that moment, Tony continued to drink. He made that decision to keep doing that. He got about halfway through the second can until he started to feel really sick.